All right, broadcasting live.
Hi, sweet friend. Welcome to Watercolor Happy Hour. I'm Volta, the artist behind Color Snack, and this is my husband, Dan. Tonight we will be, as per usual, creating a cocktail. So Dan will be making a cocktail, and I will show you how to paint it with watercolors. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
Hi. Ooh, what are we painting today?
I don't know. You found this cocktail because, well, this usually is what happens. I go to buy groceries and then I find some fun ingredients, and then I'm like, Dan, can you make a cocktail with this?
I need an excuse to buy this thing, Dan.
Hi, Yolanda. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So tonight's specialty fruit, I guess. Oh, yeah. Is this a fruit?
It has to be a fruit.
Cactus flower. I believe this is technically a cactus flower. The prickly pear cactus.
Is it a pear?
It's called the prickly pear. So that's the name of the cactus.
Yes, but is it what is this thing? Is it a?
This is a flower, I believe.
It becomes a flower?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's like on the cactus there you will see like multiple of these little guys, and they're in season right now. September.
Oh, yeah, I guess apple blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah, peach cherries blossom.
Yeah, so September through December, these are in season. So let me add the other camera.
Yeah, and they're quite beautiful too.
Yeah, and very tasty. So this is what they look like. You might see green ones. I wouldn't recommend buying green ones because I think we bought some one time, and I'm pretty sure you want them pink.
Yeah.
Because then that means they're like ripe and ready to.
They're kind of like bananas, where if you're going to use them to cook.
Red cactus pear.
Yeah, red cactus pear. If you're going to use them in any ingredients or eat them, you want them to look almost rotten. Like you want them to be really heavy and juicy and like oozing syrup out. So that's how you know they're tasty.
Yeah.
The grosser it looks outside when you get it to the grocery store is probably going to be better. Until you don't want like any visible mold or anything. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be soft.
Mm-hmm. So show us how to do you know how to cut it properly?
Do I know how to cut it properly? I just usually just like cut it in half and scoop it out.
Yeah, I think
it's super easy.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're going to do with this cocktail. This one is Hearts and Minds.
Mm-hmm. And you found this cocktail.
I found it. If you can look up who invented it, I want to make sure that they get credit. But yeah, it was the usual. Volta's found a fruit. I want to make something with this fruit. So I'm going to go look up how to do cocktails with it. And as soon as I saw a cocktail, so like it was in Vibe magazine and they had the 5 prickly pear, cactus, fruit cocktails. I got only 2 down. Like I didn't even look at anything else.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Did you put it on the wrong mic again?
Oh,
no, it's on the right one,
no.
Isn't it? No, it's not.
Sorry, I always forget to turn this on. Okay, now we're good.
Oh my gosh. Where's the tech support?
What were you saying?
Okay. I completely lost my whole train of thought.
Well,
yes, Yolanda's asking where you can buy it.
Yeah,
right?
I got these at Sprouts. I've also seen them at H Mart.
Yeah, it seems like it's always either one of like the higher end or the international grocery stores are where we find them.
Yeah.
But we're also in we're in the South, like very close to prickly pear country.
Yeah.
So they may be a little harder to find in I don't know, Northeast or any other places.
That's a good point. So definitely come to Texas, get some prickly pears.
Yeah. And it doesn't going to look like a small papaya.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste anything like it.
Yeah.
And I remember what I was talking about now before Volta's lack of tech support, abysmal tech support. Good thing there's some professionals here.
Okay, you're the one that connects these mics, so you should know to turn
I
them
connect them. I connect them to the computer.
On? It's on.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
All right.
Yes, I am the tech support, but Volta's the one that sets up all the cameras and everything.
Yeah.
So I can blame her for it.
I see, Yolanda said you're the tech support, though.
Yeah,
You have to be.
the tech support, but that was a question, not a statement. Okay, I digress again. So I went to the Imbibe magazine, which is a great magazine, and I got 2 down, and I saw that they had a prickly pear cactus cocktail that had like arguably 2 of my favorite ingredients in a cocktail. Alcohol by itself, give me bourbon all day, every day. But when it comes to cocktails, rum agricole and a good Amaro like a Fernet Branca, I will take that to go, baby.
I'm honestly surprised you have drank this much of Fernet Branca because that's all you. It tastes very medicinal to me. It has like a very menthol aftertaste. It's like cough syrup almost.
No, it tastes like mint. Like
but
classy
if you're
mint.
into that, yeah, it definitely has unique flavor.
Yeah, it's like a mint julep and a Ricola cough drop.
But it's
in
not
the
something you
best
drink
way.
on its own. You definitely just use it in a cocktail, right?
No, you can totally drink it on its own. In fact, it's one of it's one of the bartender handshake drinks. Like if you go to a bar and you're like, oh, a shot of Fernet, and they'll be like, yeah, you're cool.
It's Fernet, but okay.
No, they'll say Fernet. I know it's Fernet Branca, but you can say Fernet. Yes, minimal. That's the good stuff. Yeah, as you can see, it's almost empty anyway.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I don't even I guess you must be drinking it on your own or something.
We've had that for 2 years. Remember, I managed to get some during the pandemic.
Oh yeah. So, fun fact about Fernet Branca. When I was studying abroad in Argentina, so that is like Argentinians love Fernet Branca, and their favorite cocktail is Coke and Fernet Branca.
Fernet con Coca.
Yeah, and I tried to get into that, but I just couldn't. But I did try it. I was like, I'm in Argentina. I should try some of their specialties. It's just like it's too medicinal for me.
I looked up some fun facts on Fernet because we were using it in this cocktail. Argentina consumes 75% of the world's Fernet Branca.
What, isn't it made in Argentina though?
It's originally made in Italy, but they do have, I think it may be the only Amaro, one of the official recognized Amaros that has a distillery / aging, whatever they call it, Amaro place in another country.
Yeah, they don't joke around. They're big fans of this.
And Fernet con Coca is so popular in Argentina, they have the world's highest per capita consumption of Coca-Cola. Wow. Yes, the power of Fernet Branca. I like that drink, by the way.
I feel like Coca-Cola maybe inspired that cocktail.
Who knows? Who knows? Cuba Libres and all that. Coca-Cola, the power of marketing.
Show the camera. It's so beautiful when you cut into it. So this prickly pear, it's so pink and pretty. And you can eat it like it is. It just has little seeds in there. So you'd have to spit out the seeds or eat around them.
Yeah, and similar to any seedy plant, as you mash it up or you cook it or you do anything with it, it's gonna have that pectin around the seed, like a passion fruit. So it'll get a little gummy, and you'll see that shortly. But the nice thing is that these scoop out incredibly easy. So I just take the spoon.
Have a Coke and a smile.
Want to buy the world a Coke.
Well, this episode is not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we get that Coca-Cola money.
This episode is, however, sponsored by Color Snack.
Call me Don Draper in a meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. So funny.
Oh yeah, Yolanda said it kind of looks like a beet. Oh, hi, Kelly. We don't get them here. I have to special order. Or remind me where you're based. I believe you're in maybe North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Remind me where you're based. And I'm always curious I shouldn't always assume what's in season here in Texas is in season everywhere else, but definitely come to Texas, have some prickly pears.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, I was close.
Kelly, I lived for about 10 years in Myrtle Beach.
And
I know.
I didn't.
I know. Well, it's not all about you, Volta. Sorry. Sorry, we were talking about Dan for a second.
I was just going to add
Stop
to the
it.
conversation
Yes.
when I was like, oh, me too. But I'm like, no.
You were about to say, oh, yeah, I did too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I totally did. I've spent, went to Coastal Carolina University, in fact. That's why I went there.
Yay, Chanticleers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we won. I know we beat Army weekend before last, but I don't know how we did this week. But yes. So yeah, and I can wax poetic about the wonders and tragedies of Myrtle Beach and living there. Way more fun than it sounds, but it is still pretty fun. However, this cocktail, Prickly Pear, is sweet, but it is not that super sweet. Yes, what? I did. Thank you, Yolanda. But it is not super sweet. So we're going to add about a quarter of an ounce, 7.5 mLs of strong syrup. Oh, excuse me. Nope. Half an ounce, 15 mLs of strong syrup. And we're just going to go ahead and mash that up. So we're using our, our muddling stick, and we're giving us a little grind. We don't want to go too crazy though, because it will just rip up all that pectin and create just a gel, which we will never be able to get out of our strainer. So all we want to do is release the juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very juicy.
Yes, very juicy. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, you want it in about that texture. If you smush it up too much, it ends up becoming almost like a gelatin, which is no bueno for a cocktail. And because we added so much sweet to it, we want to add, some sour. So we're going to do around 3/4 of an ounce of super juice lemon. If you're using if you're in a southern place and you're using fresh lemon, I would say half an ounce. If you're using, if you're in a place that has really fresh lemons and they're very juicy, I would go a full ounce. But you know your lemons better than I do. I'm not your lemon expert. You do what you do. Then finally, we're going to take some of that rum agricole, and the difference between a rum agricole versus a traditional rum is rum agricole is made with the actual sugar from the rum, as opposed to like a blackstrap rum or other rum that's made with molasses that's left over from creating the sugar. So this is like this is the good stuff rum. If you ever see it, grab it. If you ever see an aged one, oh man, I very rarely see those. I think a distillery out of San Francisco, I think St. George's does an aged rum agricole that I've had my eye on and I want to try out, because that sounds delicious. But yes. And yes, Paul, go Chanticleers, the wily rooster of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. That is our mascot. Very angry looking rooster that he is. Chauncey, the Chanticleer. We're also, the Chanticleers are one of the only NCAA teams that have a colored field. Ours is teal.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like Boise State with blue and Chanticleers with teal. It is so obnoxious. I love it. Speaks to my soul. All right, so now we're going to take this and we're going to shake it really well, because we want to dilute it, but not too crazy, because we have this neato elegant glass. Pardon my hand. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Yes, USC. Now, is that Southern California or South Carolina? Are you a Gamecock or a Trojan? Oh, they did beat Gardner-Webb. Nice. They were down when I saw it. I was they were playing at the same time as Alabama and Texas. So
we were basically watching Alabama.
Yeah,
because we knew we were going to win.
Oh, sorry, I went to Coastal. Volta went to Alabama. So
we wanted to watch a game where the odds of winning was going to be 90 to to 10.
Kelly, can you tell us how much did Coastal beat Gardner Webb by? I'm going to guess it was more than a point.
Still one, though.
Yes.
Still one.
All right. Yes. Oh, man, we got a South Carolina crew in here.
Awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Oh, Walter, have you ever seen any of the Gamecock swag?
Mm-mm.
It's so funny. Like it just has like the second half of the word everywhere. Like
Gotcha.
everybody during a game is just walking around with that. Oh, look at that. 31-27. That proves it. Coastal Carolina better than Alabama. As one knows, as everyone knows. I'm sure the people at
Oh, look at that
Coastal
color.
do too.
It's so beautiful.
It is. And you can already see it just kind of pooling up in the strainer. Yeah, I'm straining it twice because there is some chunkiness.
Honestly, this is probably really good without Fernet Branca.
It is. It is, but it's so like syrupy and rich. The Fernet helps kind of cut it. Ooh, we're getting full. We're getting full. Is it going to overflow?
Kelly said roll tide. Roll tide.
Jeez, I know whose fans are on this thing, are on this stream.
This, by the way, this beverage is very much a roll tide kind of crimson tide color.
Crimson Tide.
It is.
Is everything red a fan of Alabama? Spoken like a true Alabamian. There we go. Look at that. All the way up to the top. Although we do need to drink some of it. I would just don't try to.
Okay,
Oh,
I ruined it.
You did it now. How could you? There you go.
That's really good.
Yes.
Very pink.
I'm going to try it too because.
Yeah, you can't lift it up without it spilling.
Yes.
A little bit.
Well, especially now that it's got stuff everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up.
But it doesn't stain like a beet.
I think it'll still stain,
Like
just
a little bit,
not
but
as bad.
definitely not as bad as a beet.
Yeah, it will not be as bad as a beet. Beets, they touch something and it's purple. It goes like no, man, I'm blanking on the name. The purple yam.
Sweet potato?
Yeah, the purple sweet potato, not taro. Ube? Ube. Jeez, why am I blanking
ube extract, but not the actual.
No, that's true. Yeah, so like in terms of staining this poor cutting board, things that have gotten on it. No, we are not using a straw, Yolanda. This is far more fun.
It's a fancy beverage.
Yeah, we have class here. We do not use straws.
I think this cocktail is done. Like it tastes really good.
No.
It's complex. It has notes of prickly pear, but also not just that. So now you're going to go ahead and ruin it with some Fernet Branca.
Indeed. I'm going to be very classy and just not dirty up a spoon.
Okay.
Hey, I'm drinking this.
Yeah.
I can lick the spoon.
You definitely are drinking this because you're adding the it's a Namaro?
It is technically an Amaro, I believe. I mean, any season thing. It is a digestive.
Yeah.
Yes. It is definitely a digestive. I'll have that for later. We only want a 1/4 ounce because all we want is like a little gradient at the top. This is there for style as well as substance. So I'm just going to pour it on the spoon and then just sort of gently let it kind of dribble on the top.
Hold on.
So a nice little float.
Yeah.
There we go. You know, I know it's all for show, but man, it looks so cool when you have a gradient on a cocktail.
Look cool. It does.
Oh, look at that. It has like a reverse sunset type of feel.
Yeah.
Yes. It is classy to bring it down. We don't wait. Like, why would we bring the liquid to us when we can go to the liquid? Yes. Oh man, if Bernie Blanc, like,
I
if
will
you
not
like,
be tasting this.
it is like the antithesis of creme de menthe.
Don't forget this.
Oh yes, sorry. How could I forget? Well,
So we don't have any
let me take a
actual
drink of
flowers.
it before you
Yeah.
decide to stuff a Lego on the cocktail. Oh, that's so good. It really, like, man, it works. No. Okay. Well, Volta saw
You can't see it,
the
Todd.
image had a flower on it, and we do not have.
We are
any
painting a
flowers.
flower on this cocktail. It's a white orchid, and this is the closest we have to an orchid.
Yes.
So it'll just have to just kind of go with it, you know.
Yes. So now there we go. One fancy. There. Let's get all the players in the shot.
Mm-hmm.
There. Look at that. So beautiful.
But if you don't have Fernet Branca at home, you can just make this without it, and it's also going to be delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. As weird as it sounds, Jägermeister might be a good alternative.
I don't know.
Cheers, Kelly. Now I feel like,
Cheers.
yeah, that's another one of my I don't know, contentious opinions. I don't even know if it's an unpopular opinion because it's a pretty popular drink. But I do not mind Jägermeister. I know it gets a bad rap.
Is Jägermeister a cocktail or a drink already made?
It is a drink already made. It is I guess you'd call it a cordial.
Oh, cordial.
Or a liqueur. It's 35% alcohol, but it's it's.
So it's like Kahlua or something.
Yeah, well, it's like there's a specific name for them, and somebody's probably going to pull it up for me. But it's like it's one of the it's a German like fortified herbal liqueur.
Oh.
That is, I guess, medicinal in its own way.
Okay.
But it is sold. It's usually consumed in a special device, and this is a Myrtle Beach thing that you would see these Jaeger shot machines where there'd be 3 giant bottles of Jägermeister, and it would be a cooling device, and it would actually get it below 0, and you would pour shots of Jägermeister from this thing, and they'd be freezing cold, and you couldn't taste anything, but they just tasted like sweet with a little licorice. And then the famous video of check out my new shirt or my new haircut, whichever one it was, and they all were like Jaeger bombs, and everybody started doing Jaeger bombs.
Cool.
Do you want to hear more stories of
I'm
Jägermeister?
good. I want to paint.
I can tell them all.
I want to paint.
Yes.
So this is the flower that we'll be painting /
Yes.
also sketching.
Yolanda says that's a beautiful drawing, Volta Ocean
Oh,
Smith.
thank you so much, Yolanda.
Yeah, Yolanda, nobody else cares about my Jägermeister stories either, clearly. I forgot my audience. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
So this is a fun little like cocktail glass shape, because it's kind of what's the word? It's more concentrated at the top, and then you have a very long stem. So
it's unbalanced, the word? Disproportioned?
Disproportioned, yeah. It's very unique. I found it at our local Goodwill. I thought it was a fun shape to try to sketch. So the way we're going to approach this, these are going to be 2 slightly curved lines, and they're going to like curve towards each other. And it's going to be mostly here kind of at the top. So just slightly curved, and then we're going to connect them. So the edges or the corners are going to be rounded. And then you're going to have a pretty like almost flat line that connects these 2 at the bottom right here. And then at the top, you're going to have another pretty much flat line there as well. So that's kind of like the main shape. And then we're going to add the flower. So I painted an orchid. Feel free to add a different flower because it's really up to you. But that was the orchid that was in the Imbibe magazine, the recipe for the cocktail. They had that.
Yeah,
and I
need to look up
really pretty,
where that was from. I got to give them credit because it was a great design.
So, but to sketch an orchid, we're gonna start in the center. I'm gonna do kind of like a little shape here, like a little circular shape with the line through it. And then we're gonna do 3 larger petals. So 1, 2, and then the third one could be slightly smaller, kind of like this. And then the last, we're gonna add 3 more petals, and they're gonna be much smaller and kind of behind these main ones. So it's just, again, like a series of few curved lines that come together, and you have like a pointy edge here. And then, see, I'm gonna erase these extra pencil marks, so it looks like the flower is sitting on the glass, on the cocktail glass. So roughly, like, don't stress about getting the exact kind of, if you have a couple of petals in a circle, that's great. Like, it doesn't, don't stress about it looking exactly like what I'm sketching. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say it was from a bartender, Andrew DeLon, or I guess bar manager, Andrew DeLon of Liberty, Seattle. The original recipe for Hearts and Minds includes a float of sparkling wine between, or I guess a pour of sparkling wine between the prickly pear mixture and the Fernet float.
Oh, okay.
So it is a bit lighter in color when you do that. We didn't have room for this in ours, so it makes it a little less prominent between the two.
That's right. They did use a larger, like almost like a champagne flute, which had more volume in it.
And accordingly, it also made, they used more Fernet to contrast that, and it creates like this really like, well, just like yours, where you accentuated it as well. It kind of makes the flower pop.
Yeah. And I'll show you exactly how to paint this, because it is a white flower. So how do we make it stand out against a white background? Super easy. Let me show you how.
Barely an inconvenience.
But this stem here, you're going to have, it's mostly like 2 parallel lines. It's just a little bit wider here towards the top, so it like curves just slightly. And then at the bottom for the base, we have our kind of usual narrow type of oval shape. There we go. And now for the fun part of painting. So I will be using, let's see, for the bottom portion here, I'm going to be using magenta and a little bit like a mix of alizarin crimson, which is a roll tide. It's a red that is a cooler red. So if you think of like Alabama winning another championship this year, that's the kind of red you're going to see.
Based on Saturday's performance.
I know. I sound like such a big football fan, but I only watch Alabama because I went there and we're almost always winning. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, I'm mixing magenta with a little bit.
Yeah, either Texas is really good or Alabama's.
Okay. No. So I'm just adding a bit of magenta to kind of like bring up that pink, because the color of the pear, of the prickly pear, was so juicy. So that kind of makes it so. And if you have a regular red in your palette, you can always add just a touch of blue to kind of like darken it and cool it down. So that will work as well. And let's see, I'm gonna kind of paint this area here. But I definitely want a little highlight, so I'm gonna lift off some paint since my light source is hitting from the left-hand side. So got a little nice highlight. And then to add the part with the Fernet Branca, which is a lot darker, I'm going to use a little bit of purple mixed in with that same red. And you'll get kind of like that darker, really deep kind of burgundy, like even deeper than that color. And I'm just going to paint that at the top here. And I want this color to kind of blend or bleed into the color below it, so that it has kind of like that natural watercolory look. I might add a touch more red here because it looks a lot lighter than this one. Just deepen the color a little bit. And sometimes it may happen that your highlight will disappear, or you just reinforce it. So lift off and clean your brush and lift off again. There we go. And you can keep kind of dropping the color as much as you'd like, because it will dry a shade lighter than what you're seeing while it's still has water in it. So just kind of take a look, and after it dries, see how you like it. I'm gonna let this area dry, and before I show you how to do the flower. And right now I'm gonna use a little bit of my Payne's Gray, super diluted with water, so it's very light in value. But I'm gonna use that to add just a few little brush strokes on the stem, so that it looks like there's like shadows in there, and also a little bit on the base as well. And I want most of the gray to be on the opposite side of my highlight, because this area is going to be lighter. This area, the opposite, is going to be a little bit darker.
Yeah. Volta, I just wanted to mention that that Paul's giving you a bit of a hard time on a typical Bammer. Regular Bammer Homer over here. But Tiffany is, of course, saying a lovely fall transition color.
Thank you.
Yeah, as we transition to things that are inevitable, like the leaves falling in fall and Alabama winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I understand. Actually, no, I don't, because we always win.
You guys have no idea. When Alabama does lose, it is a tragedy in this house. Yeah. Volta just walks around.
Okay, no, I'm not that dramatic.
Oh, she is so dramatic. Y'all have no idea. It's so fun.
Okay, back to the orchid. I'm going to be using this. So I have this like kind of purplish blue in my palette. Any type of blue, like if you can mix them together with maybe a little touch of purple. And I do apologize, my palette is super messy. Today I learned that it's for some people, it's really hard to look at a palette that is not clean.
But that's what art does.
Yeah, that's what art does. But I'm just saying some artists might clean up theirs before, but I'm not gonna do that. Anyway.
Yeah, you got art to do.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna spend time cleaning a palette when you could be arting with the palette?
Exactly. So basically, I'm just mixing a bunch of blues and maybe a touch of purple together, but still a lot of water, so that it's very light in color. So it's diluting that color mix, and then I'm just using that to add little, like, paint the petals, so add little shadows. And as soon as you add that, it helps to like kind of separate that area of the flower against the background, so it kind of makes it pop. So I encourage you to like play the traditional kind of way, not traditional, but your first instinct might be to use a black or a gray to paint these shadows. But I like to play it up. Actually, well, I learned about it from another watercolor artist who was using a different, like a set of blues and greens, even, and some pinks. And it was just so cool because it added so much dimension and made a white area look a lot more interesting. And the watercolor artist is Anne Ebgott. I'm sorry. She's really awesome. She lives in Florida.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense. The like a pure black is not a very natural color.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, just kind of fun. And
I remember when I was young in art class and learning about shadowing, and Like it was explained to me that a shadow is an absence of light, not
Yes.
something that like generates itself.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
then,
extent of my art knowledge, by the way. I say that to sound smart.
yeah, it's great knowledge though. And also another way I wanted to show you. So if you're painting a white object, another way to make it pop on the page is to add a background. So say I'm gonna add a quick like wash around this flower. I'm just using a blue, but that's another way. Like if you just want to add a fun background, totally an option. I typically don't do that. It depends. Like I'll do it in some cases because it is fun to just like play around and like drop different colors. So again, that'll make this cocktail glass also pop, as well as the flower, which is white. So I know we typically just do, the glass. We don't paint the background, but why not? Let's go a little crazy. Let's go a little wild tonight. Just want to show you all the possibilities. The possibilities are endless because you get to create what you'd like, and it doesn't necessarily like just use the reference photo or image as a guide. It doesn't necessarily have to follow it precisely.
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
Good. Now, is that? I know that you probably weren't thinking this because you intuit it so well, but that looks like it is the tertiary color to the primary of red, or at least the angle in terms of color theory. The degree of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that angling. I know that you go into it in some of your books, but you've studied it so much that it's something that just like is intuition.
Yeah, well, I mean, and blue is always like it goes really well with red. It helps like accentuate it.
Yeah. Well, so like blue, red, yellow are the primaries, and then you have blue and purple, so the secondary. Purple would be the secondary, but then you have the tertiary that's kind of like in between blue and purple, and the relationship of like a tertiary and a primary is always something that's very satisfying.
Yeah.
This is me using my robot. This is the difference of how Volta and I think. I'm like, rules, things, process. And Volta's like, I already learned that stuff. I feel it.
Yeah. But great observation for those that want to learn
like me,
or think like you.
Yeah, robot thinkers. Yeah, don't get me started on kerning.
Yes, let's not discuss that. And I just wanted to show you, like I added kind of like a cast shadow, just added like a really darker blue just to kind of give that contrast. Just another extra element that you don't have to do with a gray or a black. You can do it with a different color. All right, so you have two options.
Yes, and
one with the background, one without.
Wow, and Yolanda said it's accentuated perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to our friend. You can't see my shirt.
Oh, sorry.
Our friend Chef Twee from Buster's Bake Shop. I forgot to give you the shirt.
No, I was going to say I didn't even think that I was going to want a short.
Short. You could wear it next time.
Are you wearing your microphone on your necklace?
I am.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's okay. Sounds okay. But yes, she's a very talented baker, and Buster is the little French
bulldog,
French
I believe.
bulldog, yeah. Who recently passed away, but his memory lives on.
Such a precious little boy.
In all the baked goods and cakes and delicious things that Chef Twee is creating. So I wanted to
Yes, you can
Give-
see her in season 1 of Crime Scene Kitchen.
Oh my God, that's right. She is kind of a celebrity.
Yeah, I can't believe that she still talks to me because the first time I met her, I was like, "Is Joel McHale as handsome as he seems in person?"
Yeah, you did say that.
I did.
And she confirmed
and
he,
she
he
confirmed
was.
he is as
Yeah,
handsome.
yeah.
Like, so it clearly is yeah, you can't help it. I think her exact words were, "Yes, and he knows it."
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope wherever you are, maybe there's a prickly pear cactus fruit flower that you could find. Definitely recommend you give it a try. I know there's beverages already made with it that you can maybe get.
Yeah. Oh, you can get. There's prickly pear concentrate, and there's prickly pear syrup. Those two will work. Prickly pear juice isn't really a thing, or prickly pear water. Those are just like stuff that's been flavored with prickly pear, so it has like an essence of it, but you're not going to be able to use it in this type of thing. You could conceivably, if that's all you could find, and you really wanted a prickly pear syrup, you could like pour out the whole bottle and then boil it down until it was concentrated. Then you'd make a prickly pear syrup.
That's too much work.
I mean, that's what I said. If somebody really wants some prickly pear.
Yeah. Oh, Tiffany had a delicious prickly pear lemonade. Ooh, I bet that's really good.
That does sound like a good pairing. It's basically that without the other stuff.
Yeah.
You'd probably like that better than this.
I'll probably like that too. Yeah.
How funny we have a cocktail show and you don't even drink.
I know. I love to paint him though. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next time. Same place, same time.
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Thank you all for joining us on the new time again.
At 7 p.m. We'll see you there.
Yeah. Bye, sweet friend.
Bye. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your week.